OS, even you can log in as a root user itself, right? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can log into the, you can go for the IAMs directly instead of EC2.
IAMs. Okay.
Yeah, right. IAM. You can just type IAM. Yeah, right. Okay. So this is the main thing, guys. Yeah, correct. The main thing is, see, yeah, it's already showing us some recommendations here. This IAM is majorly for the authentication and authorization. Meaning, yesterday we talked about the VPC, which is securing our work resources, okay, entire network of all the AWS resources. That that is a, it's like a creating infrastructure. Now IAM is talking about the authentication and authorization, meaning who you are and what permissions do you have. Who is talking about the authentication? What you can do is authorization. For example, Naveen is a user and this is a authentication. Okay, Naveen already have an account in this one. So other authentication is done. Now authorization. What Naveen can do, this is a authorization. So the IAM is the a service provider which will be focusing on authentication and authorization in a different forms. Okay, how, what are the different forms? Mainly the users, user groups on the left hand side here. If you see here, access management here, if you see here, this is the authentication and authorization part. Users, roles, policies, and user groups, these are the main components of a IAM use. And if we don't have this I mean, if we don't have a proper authentication or proper authorization, you can't able to access any of the resources in AWS. Okay, so whenever you join a company, right, what they do is they would be creating a IAM user, not the root account user. For example, when you are signing up with your account details, right, you might have logged in into the I mean to say, you might have logged in as a root user. For example, Naveen has logged in as a root user. Root user is nothing but he has the entire permission. Exactly like when you create a Linux OS and then there'll be a root account, right? Root user. He has everything to do everything in that system, right? The similar way in AWS account, when we signed up with the user, that user is called a root user. And the best practice is we should use the root user only for the administrator purpose. For example, currently now Naveen has logged in as a root user here. It is recommended to use the root user account for only for the administrator purpose. Administrator purpose means creating a users, groups, providing them the access, okay, providing them the access and restricting them, applying the rules. These are the only thing. It is not recommended to use the root account for creating EC2 instance or creating S3 bucket, creating a VPC account. It's not for creating or CRUD operations. It is using, I mean, root user is mainly the best practices using for the, for the administrative purpose. Why? Because for sometimes we would be losing or we would be somehow lose or publish our credentials, or if our AWS credentials has been leaked or compromised, your entire AWS account will be, or your entire organization account will be compromised. In MNCs, how the thing is, there is only few groups, especially the not only the technical groups, only IT admins, especially these guys will have a root account. Only few people, limited to two to three people, and remaining other people will have a administrator access but not the root account. Okay, so like that, the hierarchy of giving an access is very different. I mean, almost of 6 levels of hierarchy will be there in a MNC companies. But in case of a medium or startup companies, right, only one root account, one admin. From the root account, what they do is, for example, this is a root account. From the root account, they would be creating multiple administrator accounts like this. From the administrator accounts, what they would be doing is they will be creating a user level access or group level access, meaning only with the restriction. This is a root account, this is a administrator account, having everything like these guys, but root account has more than these administrator accounts. The child nodes of this is like will have a less permissions. Only, for example, this user has only EC2 permission, this user has only S3 permission, this user has only lambda permission, something like that. This is how the hierarchy will be there in a medium to startup companies or startup to medium company. But the same hierarchy will be there present. Almost 6 levels of hierarchy will be present in MNC companies because of the restrictions that they want to apply here. Okay, now let's how they do is basically they would be, in a IAM resource, we would be providing a authentication and authorization with the help of user groups is the authentication purpose. Rules and policies are the authorization purpose. Authentication means like who you are, like for creating an identity. Okay, for rules are, roles and policies are for authorization, like to access of what resources or to what time. So these are the two major things in the IAM here. Okay, so majorly here you would be creating a, you would be using a, or you would be using the user groups and users to create the users. Okay, these things, roles and policies, which are authorization purpose, you will attach it here. You would be creating it, you would be attaching it, like you will attach, you will create some policies or roles and then you will attach to these user groups here. Okay, as I said, the best practices should be using a IAM account only for administrative purpose, not for the root account. Okay, and yeah, any questions on this, guys? Is it clear? Because when you join a company, right, they would be providing you the IAM user. IAM user, if you see, if you remembered, Naveen, do you have any? Did you? I think. Can you click on users here? Yeah. Can you click on this guy, Naveen? Click on this Naveen user, not checkbox. Can you scroll a little bit up? Okay. User range and policy. Can you go? I think what I'm looking out is, okay, anyway, we will see that. How to, what I want to convey is how to identify whether it is a root user access or IAM user. How do we know is, if you see here, the user account here, right? Mostly this is a root account. If it is a IAM account, how it will looks like, it will be start with the account ID, which is in a digits dot the username. Okay, so that's how you would be defining, you would be finding out, yeah, this is the account ID basically. If you are an IAM user, this account dot username you would be getting. We will see in a moment of doing the stuff. Okay, now let's create users now. Okay, yeah, can you click on create users? Yeah. Can you get a little bit? Yeah, go to the IAM users. Yes, and here there are a couple of things we have to. Since we have a dashboard, we got a chance to understand this one. Here, there are recommendations. You must follow this recommendation. If you join as a DevOps guy in any of the company and you are responsible for managing a AWS account, you have to go through these recommendations, especially in IAM service, because this is a very important. Right, nowadays, if you see, there is a lot of cyber attacks has been happening for the email spoofing, okay, and spamming, publishing your GitHub or some credentials in GitHub itself. It's getting leaked if someone scanned, right? It's always to use a multi-factor authentication enabled for most of the AWS account. If any of the employee, if you found, or if any of the user found that he is not enabled the multi-factor authentication, you have to notify them saying that you have to enable the multi-factor authentication, otherwise it will be disabled. If you are an administrator of your, or if you are responsible for the AWS account in that particular organization, otherwise administrator will take care of it. Okay, now the another thing is, yeah, okay, another thing is managing access key. We will talk a minute about it here. Okay, yeah, so if you see here, this is what I'm talking. If it is a IAM user, if you see here, http slash the account id dot sign in, and this one, actually we would be getting a user account, user id as well, so we will see in a moment. Okay, this is how if you found some login URL like this, if you got a in your mail, or if you someone has told you like I created an account for you in AWS, you can log in. If you found the URL looks like this, meaning you got a IAM user account, not the root account. That's one way of identifying it. Okay, now let's create a users. Can you click on users, Anna? Yeah, right. Under the users, create a users. Okay, let's create a user for Kaushik. Can you create a user for Kaushik?
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yes. Okay, now if you see here, there is two things. Should I provide access to AWS Management Console to this Kaushik user or not? You just click on it here. If yes, what does it mean is, if we don't or if we uncheck it, right, what will happen is he can't able to log into the management console. He can able to access via CLI, but not the management console. What is management console? The whatever you are opening, whatever you are seeing, right, this is a AWS console management, which is in a web application. Okay, if we don't uncheck it, he can't able to access it here. Okay, now can you scroll down? See, specify a user in identity center, which is a recommended. Otherwise, you can create a, can you click on I want to create IAM user, please? Because sometimes it will ask me, yeah, scroll down, please. Yeah, see here. So auto-generated password. What will happen is, when you create a user, it will auto-generate this password. Otherwise, you can give a password to this guy. Otherwise, yeah. Can you click on custom password? Yeah, right. So you just mention like hello 123 or something, and then you can share it. I mean, you don't need to share it, but generally, yeah, you can just remember because you are typing it here. Okay. Uh, because we are going to log in with the same credentials. You
Oh,
can even what you can do is Naveen, even you can delete this user after the session. That would also helpful, even if you show this. Okay.
oh,
Okay, so now, yeah, you can click on this. If, oh, no, 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 don't do that.
this one?
Just click on, yeah, you remembered the password, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. And now uncheck the user must create a new password next time. Yeah, now click on next here. Okay, now you can you scroll down, please? Now it is saying, it is asking, should I add the Kaushik user to any group, or do you want to copy any permissions? You just don't yeah, you just click on next here, and you are not part of any of the group currently. Can you click on create user now? So the user got created now, and you have to share this console sign in URL, username, and password to the a user. This is how you would be creating a user in a AWS console with the root account user. Of course, it is not required the root account user, but you require a user which has a permissions to create a users. Okay. Now what you need to do is you will share these credentials to a respective user. Okay. Can you note it down in somewhere, Naveen? Either open a notepad and copy it and paste it in a notepad. So you would be using it in some way. You just copy of this stuff and then save it in. Okay. Now this
Yeah.
is the, yeah, you have done it, is it?
No, just.
Okay. Yeah. You copy it and then save it in notepad. Even you can email these instructions, but it required a valid email ID, but we don't use it now. Okay. Now this is about how do we create a users. Can you create a users for similarly 2 to 3 people? At least you can do the same thing for Saina, Tejasvi, Kiran. At least 2 to 3 people I required, because
Yeah.
I want to show the next thing is for the groups.
So just need to go to the IAM.
Yes. Wait.
Uh,
What is that? Return to, this is downloaded, right? Okay. Can you cancel it?
Yeah.
What it is saying? Yeah, download
Download.
the CSV would be enough.
Yeah. I downloaded it.
Yeah, okay, you download, right? Okay, can you do one more thing? Can you open an incognito mode and see whether you are able to log into that? Open incognito mode of the browser. Yeah, right click here, update. Click on here.
All
Don't
right.
click directly update, just 3 dots. Incognito mode, Control Shift N, the third option here. Yes. We are not able to see. Maybe you can share. In the incognito mode, you paste this URL and then use these credentials to log in.
Oh, the URL.
Yes.
Oh,
Open
just.
is the incognito mode is open?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. Now copy this paste. I mean, copy the paste this URL. Is it
You can see
open
my
the
screen,
AWS
right?
login?
You
Is
can
it
see my
open?
screen, right?
No, not yet. We can able to see only Chrome browser, not the incognito browser.
So how to see that?
Yeah, you stop it. You stop it and then share the again while you are sharing.
Stop screen
Yeah,
and
share it again. You can
yeah.
share the entire screen or you just select that window. Okay, right, awesome. Now, say, tell the password. Yeah, you just mentioned those. Yeah, enter it here. So, okay, what is that?
Authentication. Yeah,
Oh, right.
it
And
was logged
let's,
in.
okay, nice. Can you search for EC2? Yeah, see the account here. Before doing that, I want to see this one. See the
This one?
user now. Yeah, correct. This one has been, if you see the root account is the actual ID, but here with IAM user Kaushik at the rate account ID here. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can click on the EC2 now and then check were you able to access any of the EC2 resources. Okay, awesome. So meaning the current user which Navin got created does not assign or does not have any permissions to him. Okay, so that's why it is showing me API error. It is clearly tell you do not have a permissions also. Can you navigate to the IAM policy, IAM resource AWS? Can you search for IAM and try to navigate there? Okay, yeah. In this one, yeah, see, the user does not have a proper permissions to. In order to get this IAM access, he required this policy. If you remember, we talked about the roles and policies here. Now it is saying this particular policy should have in order to access or see this IAM dashboard for this Kaushik user. Okay, so this is the main thing. I mean, this is the main thing. So yeah, this is the current information about the user on the right side here. If you see here, this is the user details here. Okay, yeah. Now can you go to please be stay, I mean, open this incognito mode. Can you go back to your root account? Can you stop and share again? Otherwise you can share the full screen, no problem. You can
How
easily
to share the full screen?
cancel, stop sharing screen.
Yeah.
Okay, when you click on share screen, the first option is a screen.
Okay.
That is the entire full screen. Okay, now we can able to see that. Okay, now you have created an account, right? Now click on users. Now what we are going to do is, now can you click on Kaushik user? See, this guy is clearly saying this guy is a root account, a last activity or something. Okay,
2019.
now here what we are going to do is a permissions now. Okay, what exactly the permissions that we are going to use it? The permissions you would be providing to this user through a policies. Okay, we will be doing it. Can you click on add permissions here? Yeah, add permission. Okay, here it is saying in order to create a permission, either you can provide a permissions to via group by adding this user to a group, or copy the permissions from somewhere else, or attach the policies. Policy is nothing but a set of permissions, meaning a combination of the permissions. For now, what we do is click on copy permissions, second option, right? Now, okay, either you can copy the permissions from the Naveen user, which we don't want because Naveen user is a root user and he has everything, and we don't want everything, I mean, all permissions to Kaushik's user. So we don't want that. Attach policies directly. Here, what we can do is there are three permissions. I mean, there are some policies. The policies contains a permissions, that permissions related to either read, write, and execute permissions. Okay. Now we can provide a permissions based on the resources also. There are almost 1100 permissions. Now we want to give access of access of IAM users to Kaushik user. Can you search for IAM user? So these are the possible permissions we should be applying to the Kaushik user. Okay, we don't want full access of the IAM users. I do want only read only. Can you click on the read only? Can you expand this? So let's see how the no. Okay, fine, no problem. So when we click on this permissions, right? Let's see what are this has been happening here. The ARN of IAM read-only policy is this one. What is the ARN? Amazon resource name, which is a very unique for every account. I mean, entire AWS. Whatever the resource that you do create, you will get a ARN number. This is how you would be referring in your APIs or AWS CLI, something like that. Okay, this is a very unique now. Okay, now if you see here, the can you scroll a little bit down, please? IAM, he has list limited. Access level is a full, but he can do a list with a limited, but read-only users of all the resources. All the resources means either user groups, users, roles, policies, everything he can list out with a limited of read-only access. Okay. Request condition is nothing. Nothing means only if user is logged in between tomorrow only you show this permission. If you have such kind of a conditions, you would be applying those also. We will see those also here. And this is a view looks through web UI. If you want to see how we would be how as a programmatically we would be using a JSON format. JSON format is one of the format which we will represent in a represent the policy. Can you click on here, JSON? Okay, so if you want to give a permission or edit the permission, this is how the permission looks in a code format or text format. The text is in the JSON format. JSON format is nothing but the JavaScript object notation. Whatever you represent some data or whatever you configure something which will be internally stored in this format. Okay, you have to learn about the JSON also, or you would hear JSON most of the cases, because everywhere we are using a JSON to transfer the data between the two entities. For example, REST API, configuration of an application, or everything. Even for example, you just logged in as a user, right? Or you have just created an account, right? When you signed up or when you filled the form, that form data will be converted into the JSON. That JSON will be sent to the backend API, and the backend will understand how to read this JSON and then understand accordingly and then act on it. Okay, so you would be editing this JSON if you want to edit something. There are AWS is providing you two ways to edit something. Either you open the UI and then edit, or you create a JSON and then I'll take it out. Okay, currently yeah, we will talk about this in format, I mean in detail, like what is each statement here. But just remember, you are going to provide a permissions to a user via policies. Okay, yeah, let's can you scroll it up? Okay, yeah, this is the complete IAM read access. Can you come back? Now we have just given him, right? Yeah, come back, policies. Mm, did we assign him, or we just skipped there itself?
No, yes.
Okay, click on user again and then come back. Click on user, select the Kaushik. Yeah, click on this guy and then add permissions and attach the policies directly, because we don't want, yeah, select here, IAM, yeah, only read only access, next, and then add permissions. So this user has the permissions to see all the IAM related. Can you open the, yeah, this one, refresh the page. Let's see whether you are able to do this. Okay, so he can able to see the entire dashboard data of IAM, like how many users he has been created, roles he has, how many things, everything he can able to see only, but it is a read only, but not the I mean, he can't able to create users, he can't able to create the roles, he can't able to create the policies or anything here. Okay, now this is the flow, meaning you just create a user and then we directly attach the policy. But we should assign those through roles also, meaning we will create a set of policies and create a role and then attach those roles to the users. I mean, any way you can do. Okay, we will see. Let's create a roles now.
Yes.
Roles here in the root. Yeah, in the root account, roles. Okay, so there are currently only two rows here. These are the predefined things, meaning these are the two rows which are already been created for, okay, for service support for your, I mean, generally sometimes we will forget our root user, or we will be losing our EC2 credentials, or we will lose the PEM file of the EC2. Sometimes we require some AWS support, right? What they do is by default they would be logging into your account and recover your account using these roles. Because of these roles, if you delete these roles, even if you forget something, they can't able to do something and log into your account. But it's very dangerous, we shouldn't touch any of the things here. Okay, now what we do is let's do one thing here. create a role. Create a role here. And when you are doing a role here, let's create a, these are role is nothing but a users actually, okay, which do not have any credentials or password, and it will be assembled to use it, and it is for the temporary usage, not for any permanent usage. This is one thing we will be creating it. Okay. What we do is AWS services, come down. In AWS services, we can use EC2 here. Select the EC2. Yeah. Create next. Next. Okay, 1 minute. Can you step back? If you here in the below there will be here. Okay. Create a role. Okay. Before telling this, I want to tell you a use case. Then I will explain you of this process. Okay. Let's take an example of one thing here. There is a EC2 instance here, and in this EC2 instance, I hope you can able to see my drawing in the screen.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. This is an EC2 instance, and in the EC2 instance, we have deployed our web application. For example, our web application is storing the files which you uploaded. This is a simple web application. What does it do is it will store your files in a S3. So for that, there is an S3 bucket that we have created here, and you have deployed a web application in EC2 instance that will talk with the S3. I mean, whatever the uploaded files you would be, I mean, whatever the files that you uploaded, it will be stored in S3. This is a simple functionality of your web application. For that, what you do is in your web application, there are possibilities. I mean, how do you communicate from your web applications to S3? Either you would be creating a credentials, or you would be creating a, what you do is you would be creating a IAM role. IAM role is nothing but you will be creating a IAM user, and then you use those IAM user credentials inside of your web application, and then direct, which will have an authentication, or which will have a permissions to read or write files into S3. I mean, to read or write objects into S3. Yeah. This is one way of doing it. Like how IAM user creation, and then using that IAM user creations inside this web application. This is one thing. Another one is you do hard code these S3 credentials or your AWS credentials, which have a permissions to access the S3 to for read and write inside the web application. These are the two possibilities which we generally everyone do. Meaning you are handling the authentication or accessing the S3 from within an application. This is what we do. How? Whether you create a new IAM user, give that IAM user credentials to inside your web application, or you create a normal user account or programmatical access or the AWS S3 CLI access inside a web application. This is the two possibilities. Now, this is a bad practice. This is not a good practice. Either you use the credentials inside your application is not the right one. Either you create IAM user and then use that IAM user inside AWS credentials. It is also not the user. The best thing is instead of dealing access of S3 from within web application, instead of doing this, you can give an access to from EC to S3 directly, independent of the web application, or you are giving a access from a EC2 level, not from an application level. How? For that, you have to create a role here, and that role will have a permissions to access S3. For example, here, AWS service. You are going to create a AWS role. I mean, you are going to create a role which is having a AWS services. Now, when you do use that, here you would be selecting a service which you want to use it here. Can you select, can you click on drop down here? Yeah. Either you select it. Can you click on drop down here? S3. Can you select S3 here?
S3.
Yeah, S3. S3 is one of the, yeah, can you select it here? 1 minute. Okay. So here, S3, when you selected S3, it is asking, do you require or allow S3 calls to AWS service on your behalf or batch operations? You can select any of the things. Generally, S3 batch operations we will be giving for the external purposes. Now select S3 here. Okay. Only, yeah. Click on next here. Yeah. Now, can you select the permissions here? S3, type S3 and give full permission. Search here, search here. It didn't come.
No, it doesn't show anything.
Mm, S3, capital S3. Search, enter, enter there itself. Okay, S3 full access, the first one. The first one.
This one? Okay.
Yeah, right. This is one because this required a full access. Yeah, create this. Click on next. Yeah, this is the statement of your role here. Meaning, give the role name. AWS S3 role. AWS underscore S3 role. AWS underscore S3 underscore role. Meaning, whoever is being attached this role, they have an entire S3 access. Yeah. Can you scroll down? Yeah, this is the state of the permissions. I mean, this is a definition of your role. Can you scroll a little bit up? I just want to discuss this JSON format here. Okay, this is a simple JSON format, and which has this is the key and this is a value, and this is a key and this is a value. Entire this is set is a value here. So JSON is a set of key value pairs. Okay, that we will be representing this in a JSON format here. So there are some keywords like effect, allow or deny. By default, effect will be deny. Effect means action, action kind of. Do you want to allow or deny? The possible values for the effect key is either allow or deny. Okay. Now the next thing is principal. Principal means which resource that you want to use. Principal is nothing but array. I mean an object. In this object, you would be creating a S3 only. Or if you want to add multiple services here, comma, service slash ec2.amazonaws.com. So like that, you would be defining how many services that you want here. Okay. This is a simple. We will talk in a moment also. Don't worry about it. Yeah, come down, complete this role now. Create a role. Yeah, click on this. Role has been created. Okay. Now, like previous guys have a default, these are the some roles which has been assigned to you for the service related support. Now you have created this role which has a set of permissions. You'd assign this role to any of the resources. Okay, let's take an example here. Can you can you can you can you open a EC2 in a new window? Click search for
EC2.
EC2 in the same window. No,
Where?
search the EC2 here. Yeah, right click on EC2 and then open in a new tab. Right. Now open that. Try to create a one EC2 instance. Okay. On top you would be having a, yeah, launch a EC2 instance. Type, for example, DB server. DB hyphen server. Yeah, anything is fine. Okay. Now launch, no. Select this stuff. Ubuntu. Select Ubuntu. Yeah, come down. Come down. You complete all these steps. Come down. Come down. Advanced. Okay, wait here. Yeah, here. See this. Now, if you see, there is a IAM role here, right? This is where you would be selecting the role that you want to apply. Can you click on here? Let's see whether you are able to getting or not. Nothing has been there. Can you
No.
search for AWS? Okay. Generally, we would be getting that policy here. Both are in same, right? Ohio and Ohio.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
are
Okay.
in.
Now we can create a new IAM. Okay, this is the IAM. Can you click on new IAM profile here? Click on this one.
Not this one. Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay. So we should be seeing those. Let's see. Okay, select this. Select,
AWS S3 role.
yes, AWS S3 role. We have been getting all this information here. But why? Generally, we should be getting that account. I mean, that IAM policy should be populated over there. Go to that. Go to your EC2 instance now. Previous tab. Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah, refresh it. See this. Okay. Come down. We should be getting that policy by now itself. Okay. Go a little bit up. Fine. There is a one instance is running, right? I mean, in the same open. Okay, let's do one thing. Yeah. Select this. Okay, here, can you do one thing? Can you scroll up this one? Can you drag this instance details and all? Here,
This one?
just mouse over here. It will tell you to scroll up. Yeah.
No, it is not.
You can't able to see this. No,
No.
generally this is just mouse over in this one. Yeah, right here. Here also we should see the ARM role. Can you scroll up? Yeah, look for roles. Yeah, nothing was there. Okay, fine. Fine. Generally, we should be getting this in option. Okay, can you click on S3 here? Can you search for S3?
S3.
Yeah, right. S3. Click on that. Create a bucket.
Oh, let me.
By default, the buckets will be global. It does not have any specific. And even, for example, most of the time, yeah, come down. Without I am just looking, yeah, come down. Here is not also being present. Okay, but fine. We'll use another scenario to populate this. But fine. Okay, let's continue our things. Go back to the IAM dashboard. Okay. Now we just created a role here, and then we try to assign this role to some of the AWS resource, right? We will use that. Now, what we have just so far is we just created a user, and then we attached a policy to that user, meaning we created a normal user without any access, and then try to log in and see we are not able to see any of the AWS resources, and then getting a permission denied action for most of the resources. And later on, what we have done is we just created a policy. I mean, not created. We use the existing policy and attach to the Kaushik user. Then we should able to see the IAM dashboard after attaching the IAM policy to the Kaushik user. This is one thing we have done. Another thing is we just created a role, and then we have seen how to create a role, and then with the different services. In this example, we just shown a S3 access, how to create a role related to S3. This is what we have just seen here. Okay, now what we will be doing is we try to populate this. I mean, we try to assign this role to some of the resources, but we couldn't able to see that. We will use another scenario. Okay, this is what we have discussed so far. Any questions, guys? Any questions so far till now what we have discussed? If not, we will move forward. Can you please confirm on this? I want everyone's confirmation, guys. How about, guys? I need a confirmation from you. Kiran, Saina, Tejaswi, Chandra. Of course, Naveen, you have done. I hope you might have understand also.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Okay, fine, Saina. Thank you. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's create a user groups now. In a company, right? How do we create a groups and how that will organize this? Can you click on user groups here? There are multiple groups you would be creating it here. Can you create a group? Generally, how the groups would be creating in any of the organization is a tech lead admin group, tech lead group, testers group, developers groups, and DB groups. These are the ways that we would be generally creating it here. Okay, meaning let's create a tech lead group. Tech leads. Create a group name called tech leads, meaning they have every permissions. Okay, yeah. Can you come down? Attach full administrator access. Select this. Yeah, meaning he has everything. He has everything administrator access. Create a group. And the group is called tech lead groups. Now let's create another group called dev groups. Create a group, dev, dev, dev groups. I mean, devs actually, devs basically. We don't attach the. I mean, it's up to us. We can create the naming convention. Okay. Now, yeah, in the policy, for example, in your organization, if you are working on S3, EC2, Lambda, for example, if your developer required access only these things, you would be selecting only this. Whatever is you required, you would be selecting those only. In this example, we will be giving an access to EC2. Can you search for EC2? EC2, enter, enter please. Okay,
Yeah,
EC2 full access, EC2 full access. This one policy you would be attaching. Another one is, no, don't do. Attach is S3. Can you search for S3? S3 again in the policies. Yeah, S3, enter. Okay. Remove the EC2. Yeah, S3 full access. No. Okay, S3 full access they required. Okay, again, API gateway, search for API gateway. Remove the S3 and search for API gateway. Yeah, just enter it. Yeah, API gateway, full access.
this one. Oh,
Invoke, the third one.
yeah.
Right. This is BNF, not administrator access. And Okay. Yeah, create a group. These are the resources that we just selected here. Create a group. Okay. Now the dev groups has 3 permissions over here. Likewise, create another group called testers group. They would require only read only access, not the full access, something like that. This is how we would be creating a group for the different teams here. Testers, test group, or QA is the right word. Yeah, QA, right. And here EC2 read only, EC2, enter, read only access, yes, because they don't require a write operations for that. Similarly, S3 read only, S3, I mean, EC, API gateway read only something. Yeah, S3 enter, read only access. Yeah, these are the two enough. You can create a group for this. Now, once you created the group, you will move the users, or you will add users to these groups. For example, click on tech leads group. Click on this. Don't select it. Once you click on this, there are no users under the tech leads here. You need to add the users. First check. Yeah, you can add the users. Yeah, select Naveen. Yeah, either anything is fine. Yeah, add a users. And under the tech lead groups, a user called Kaushik, he has every permission. Let's check the permissions here. Yeah, okay. So he has the administrator of full access. Okay, and let's see what access advisor we are getting. Click on here. So see, generally it will suggest, or it will suggest you, okay, this group has not mostly used these services, but you can remove this, or you can give an access of this. So this will tell you, okay, this permissions are having these many resources access. When did he used it of last time? So what, who has been user, and what resources he has been used, everything they will be giving information about a particular user. Okay, you can, I mean, you can monitor the activity of a particular user after under the permissions of this particular group here. Okay, likewise, we would be creating a user groups and assigning the users. Okay, now we have seen. So let's create a user now. And then while creating a user itself, we will attach a we will add him to a particular group here. Yeah, create some users. Okay. Yeah, AWS access management here, and this one.
This one, I want to create an
Yeah,
IAM.
you can use it. Um, Custom password. Okay, you add him to any of the groups that you want. Either you can add to the dev groups. No. Select it. Select the box. Okay. Uh, Go back. I mean, previous tab. Previous tab. Tab here. Here. This one. Click on this tab.
I can't
I mean, I'm just drawing here. Here. I hope this is the one, right? No, this one. This one.
think. Just a minute. Mm,
Okay, you can do one more time, no problem.
This.
you sharing?
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see my screen
Yes, yes, I can see my screen. You can screen.
and
Uh,
user.
but don't. Yeah, you can. But that user did not complete it yet. You go to the users now. Create a user again. Yeah. No, no, no. Don't unclick. I mean, don't click on that user. You just select the group name. See, go to the previous tab. It is open. No, no, no. I mean, I'll tell you just a minute.
Yeah.
Here, can you click this tab, previous tab? See my here. The browser tabs are there, right? Click on this
Yeah,
tab.
but on the top it says share screen and it was not
Okay.
hiding.
Can you drag it to the down
Um,
so you would be seeing it? You can drag it actually. If you mouse over on the green button, right? I mean, you are sharing something screen. You
yeah.
can, yeah, click on that. Yes. Select, check the box, check box. Don't check it. I'm just see here.
Checkbox, just a
Yes.
minute.
Yeah, that's it. You just select this checkbox. That's it.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So,
Now click on next. Okay. So now this user has the dev group and also has a IAM users change password also. Yeah. Now create a users.
yeah, it has been created.
Okay. Now return to the users list. So this is how we will be creating a user with attached group now. Here you can directly click on here itself. IAM.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Directly. Yeah, continue.
So if I need to download that file
Oh,
again.
you didn't notice it? Okay, download it as in safe site.
Yeah.
I would recommend you to delete these users. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't have any problem.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, like this, we can create a users here. Now let's create a policies. Now we have used the existing policies. Now let's see how to create a custom policies also here. Yeah, click on this policies. Create a policy. Here, these are the policies which are been pre-already existed. Now we would be creating a policy. That policy required these services. Okay. You want to create the policy with visually, meaning through UI or JSON format. Okay. This is what it has been telling you. Now let's be on the visual only. When you're visual, now you want to create a permissions for the EC2, or you want to create a permission for SNS service. You want to create a permission for RDS. So you have to select which one you want to create a permissions for which resources. Now look for EC2, search for EC2. Okay, select this.
This one?
Only EC2. Yeah, only EC2. In the EC2 also it has given a granular level details like what actions need to be allowed here. Okay. Can you search here filter actions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Search for allow, just allow, ALLOW.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not
Resource.
showing anything.
No.
Resources, can you expand this resources? Okay, fine. Cancel it. Okay. All the add action. Click on add actions here.
Add actions.
Here. Right. Okay. So you want to define whether he could able to read only or describe or action, delete or create. Just type hello here. Why the screen was dull here? Okay, fine. Okay, cancel it here. So we'll see. We can give a describe, but we can suggest something. Cancel it here.
Yeah. Oh, right here. Okay.
Okay. Now checkbox the all EC2 instances. All EC2 instances. And now you can provide, you can see by default it is selected all the read, all the write, all the list operations. Okay. You select, I mean, scroll down. So see, it is giving you some of the information related to the permissions that you are going to create. Okay, the subset, I mean, the subnet that you are going to create will have a D associated with the subnet which you have selected. So, I mean, we don't need to follow everything, but we have to careful if there is affecting any of the resources. This is saying, okay, when you do create this policy, there is a capacity reservation property is getting affected. This would be, you need to tell me which capacity acts, I mean, which ARN for the capacity reservation I should be doing. Any one of this account, or you can select any of the things, but you can ignorable, no problem at all. Come down, scroll down and then see. Yeah, these are the warnings you have. And then best option is to suggest, I mean, to review these suggestions or warnings, then we'll see this. Come down. Actually, there is a lot of things in a production, right? We shouldn't skip any of them. If there are 200, we should resolve those 200 warnings and then go for this. Next. What it is saying?
No, it doesn't say anything.
What
When
is
we click
happening?
on this, I think we need to resolve everything and then
No. Go
click
up,
on.
go up, go up, scroll up, go up. 1 minute. Then do one thing. Yeah. Can you expand the list? Okay. Since we have selected all actions, right? Everything was described here. Unselect the all options, all EC2. Here. Uncheck box. This one. Yeah. Just what you do is, okay, in the list, you select the first option,
This one?
which is, yeah, just distributing. I mean, in the list and the list properties, there is a one property called describe account attributes. Account you have, right? Under the EC2, you would just display, you are just giving a policy which has a permissions to list out all the account attributes. This is the one. Okay. Now collapse this here. Here, not uncheck. Checkbox. Okay, collapse this one. List is there, right? This is called collapse. Here.
This one?
This is the one. This is one. Click on this.
Oh,
Uh,
the select.
no. Unselect all the thing. Unselect here.
Oh, yeah.
Select the first property.
Yeah.
Click on here. Here. There is a something.
Here.
Here. See this.
I
Yeah.
got it.
This is the collapse. Read. Under the read, select the first property and then collapse again. Yeah. Collapse it. Okay. See. Here is the problem. See, there is a something. No. Don't do that. See, this you have to resign like specific. Okay, you can just go with the this one has been fine. Click on next here. There is a some warning when we selected here. And the policy name that you want to create is, can you go a little bit up?
Oh,
You did not give a policy name. That is the problem. Even previous also. Yeah. What you do is EC2 EC2 underscore read account property. Read underscore account property. Account underscore property underscore policy. Policy. Yeah, this is how you would be describing your policies. Okay. Yeah, now come down. Create policy. Earlier problem was we did not give the policy name. That is the problem here. Now see this, we got created a policy. Like this, we can create our custom policy and then attach this custom policies to a user or a groups here. Okay. So totally this is the, can you click on view policy here?
view policy. Okay.
And then we can see the policy here also now. And JSON, when you click on JSON, the policy that you just created, the JSON looks like this one. Okay, you are giving hello of EC2 these two properties, either EC2 client certification list and EC2 describe account properties. If you have something like this, you would be creating, if you selected it, the list of actions will be huge. Okay, this is how your looks like. If someone has give you the permissions like this, like in the JSON format, you can just copy and paste it and then change it accordingly based on your requirement also. Okay, so this is how you would be creating your custom policies and attached to it. Any questions, guys? We just talked about the IAM, how to create a users and user groups, creating the roles and policies now. So any questions so far now? By this now, we have just created a, we have completed the AWS entire course. Entire whatever we have just mentioned. And please let me know if we have any questions. So from tomorrow onwards, we would be talking about a new tool. Probably it's a Docker. Docker we will be talking because that is also an important when it comes to the containerized. We will be learning a new tool, Docker here. Okay. Any questions, guys? Yeah, thanks, Naveen. Thanks for sharing the screen. Of course,
Yeah,
I can do it quickly, but at least one would be get benefited if we do it. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, you can stop your screen. Any questions, guys? Please let me know if you have any questions here. So tomorrow we would be starting a new tool. Yeah, that's it from today, guys. Okay, thank you. That's it. Let's meet tomorrow.